Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Pierce Field in Arlington, where ACMI Sports brings you Friday Night Football. Tonight, your Arlington Spy Ponders take on their crosstown rivals, the Winchester Sachems. My name is Scott Zwick, and as always, I'm alongside the Professor, Rob Anthony. Pards, the good guys will be looking for their first win of the season after a heartbreaking defeat last week.
Yeah, it was a tough one, Scott. They went into Belmont and took on the 2-1 Marauders and had a hard-fought game, dropping it 17-14 on a last-second field goal. 25-yard field goal went through as time expired, and the Ponders had a hard time taking down running back Ben Jones, who ran 40 times for 250 yards. But they're on their home field tonight, taking on the Winchester Sachems and looking to get their first win.
For Winchester, Rob, their record may be a bit deceptive of their talent.
Winchester comes into the game 1-3, and they lost to common opponent Stoneham 21-0. But Winchester sports a very fine quarterback in Liam Fitzpatrick. He's 6 feet, 182 pounds. He can run, he can throw. Last year's quarterback, Captain Pat Costello, will also be a playmaker.
Football. And partner, the weather conditions tonight, a little bit rainy, a little bit windy. Who do you think that favors?
Favors the team with the best running game. We don't yet know who that is. The Sachems come in with a running quarterback, so they probably feel okay. We'll see if the Ponders can get their ground game on track. The field, it hasn't been raining for long, and so the field is still in pretty good shape. Footing shouldn't be a problem. We'll see if the football is a little bit slippery.
Well, the forecast tonight is for intermittent rain on and off here and there. Temperature around 53 at kickoff, which is just fine for me. 2 layers for me. And I'm ready to go. The Spy Ponders are ready to go. Packed stands are ready to go for the crosstown rivals, Winchester Sachems and your Arlington Spy Ponders. The Spy Ponders are going to kick it off.
The fans with the umbrellas in front of us are ready for the elements.
They sure are ready to.
Maybe they can tell us what number is catching the ball. Looks like the up back number 5.
Yes, it is Ashin Zarin over the 40 to about the 46. And, Rob, we see Winchester with good field position, much like we saw the opener the opponent had last time.
Yeah, Stoneham got good field position to open the game, and so does Winchester. Coach Jenner is very happy with the play of special teams. We'll see how that unfolds tonight. That opening kick was not an auspicious start for the special teams.
So Fitzpatrick and Costello are in the backfield on a 1st and 10 from the shotgun. We expect to see a lot of Fitzpatrick tonight. And we'll see if they open it up in the air. Right up the middle they go to Costello. And he rumbles and bumbles for 3 or 4 yards. And, Rob, it was the A and the B gap that was the problem for the Spy Ponders last week.
They went against Ben Jones of Belmont, and he was ripping off 4 and 5 yards at a time. Didn't run all over him really, but they also couldn't get him to the ground easily.
So that brings up a 2nd and 5 after the Costello run. And Fitzpatrick's going to keep it himself on a draw. He zigzags and zooms his way over the 45 to about the 44. And that's good for a Winchester first down. And right away, Rob, you're seeing Fitzpatrick show his versatility.
Fitzpatrick's a big kid. He's 6 feet, 182 pounds, and he's going to be a load to deal with tonight.
So you see the Sachems going a little no huddle here as the rain pelts down, coming up on 10 minutes in a scoreless first quarter. Here's Costello over the right-hand side, wrapped up. A nice tackle there by Michael Thielbar. And, Rob, Thielbar has just been a tower of power for the Spy Ponders this year.
Thielbar's been in on a lot of plays, and he's held down the middle very well. And that's important for a football team. At the high school level, the game is played inside out, and having a guy in the middle like Thielbar you can count on is a really nice luxury.
So 2nd and 6 for the Sachems. Little play-action pass. Fitzpatrick looking deep. He's got a man down there. It's incomplete. Had a man streak on the right-hand side. It was Francisca Alicia, and Alicia was open.
Wow, he was open. He was a step behind the defense, and I got to tell you, Liam Fitzpatrick put the ball in his hands. I think the Ponders got lucky there. He just dropped that football. Maybe it's a little slick. It wasn't slick for Fitzpatrick with the steal and the throw.
A nice little play-action pass for Fitzpatrick. He stepped into the throw, kept the ball high. He looks good. He looks as advertised at the start. So this brings up a 3rd and 6, and we'll see what Coach Demwowski has up his sleeve here. Looks like a little offsides, free play. He's going to go deep on the free play. Incomplete.
I tell you what, Scott. The Sachems have the right call there. It looks like the Ponders are in a 2-deep zone, and what we mean by that is the 2 safeties split the field, and the cornerbacks will suck up about 15 yards deep, and there's a seam behind the quarterback in front of the safety out by the out of bounds mark, and the Sachems have gone after that twice.
They sure have gone after that twice, and so we're learning a little bit from the professor about cover 2, and I'm learning a little bit about cover 2. And Rob, what are some of the advantages of cover 2 for a defense?
Well, that kind of zone is good for run support. So it's a little bit of a bend but don't break type defense that keeps the play and keeps the quarterback in front of the defense.
So 3rd and 2 for the Sachems. Fitzpatrick keeps it over the left-hand side, stumbles, bumbles, breaks a couple tackles. He's to 20, fumbles the football, and the Spy Ponders have it. The Spy Ponders ripped it loose. It was picked up by Adam Luisi, and bing, bang, boom, there's your first turnover of the game.
Adam Luisi with a big play that time. And Fitzpatrick was fighting for extra yardage, and he fought a little bit too hard. Look at Fitzpatrick, won't go down, won't go down. And Luisi just rips the ball right out of his arms. Big play by the Ponders.
I can go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're back for the second half. Rob, it was a close game for a while there, and then the Sachems broke it open.
Sachems broke it open. Let's review the scoring. Liam Fitzpatrick opened the scoring with a 4-yard run with 10 minutes and 11 seconds left to go in the second quarter. We had a scoreless first quarter as a mark of how close it was. Then Bowler to Doughton with 6:11 remaining in the quarter, 34-yard strike to make it 6-6. From there, it was all Sachems, and it happened fast. We had Fitzpatrick to McDonough for 45 yards, then following I guess we call it a big onside kick recovery, Fitzpatrick to McDonough for 10 yards, and then Mr. Costello ran over the left guard for 2 yards to make it 27-6, and that's where we stand now.
That's where we stand right now, and Rob, I got to tell you, there are just athletes all over the field on both sides. On the Ponder side, Adam Bowler, and certainly the dynamic Doughton. And then for Winchester, you got Pat Costello, Henry McDonough, and, of course, Liam Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, we're seeing some big-time athletes. I would add Michael Doherty to that list. I tell you, of all the plays in the first half, I was most impressed with that strike from Bowler to Doherty over the middle with time running out in the first half. And I can't impress enough on anybody what a difficult pass that is for Bowler. He's got to see over the middle of the line of scrimmage, judge the distance between the linebackers and the safety to find the seam, and lay it right in there to Doherty, who took a hit when the ball arrived. That was an outstanding play.
Outstanding play. So Clark will kick it off. Let's see if he scribs it again. They've scribbed it all night long. Had some big success with it. There's the squib. Taken by an up back, zigs and zags and zones, and there goes Doughton over the 40 to the 41. And so now we're seeing the dynamic Doughton returning the kicks.
Yeah, that's, there are some kick returners for the Ponders, and Doughton apparently is one of them. He got thrown to the ground that time, and I predict this game could get a little chippy.
Very chippy. And Rob, as we see the rain starting to really come down now, you were down in the field at halftime. What's the conditions like down there?
The field is still pretty good. Players are going to be able to move in the second half.
So 1st and 10 for the Spy Ponders at their own 40. For Bowler. He gives to Woods, who zigs and zags and zooms. It's a first down. It's a nice tackle wrapped up there by 46, who's not in my program, unless I missed the number. 16 wrapped him up. That's Max Ward. A nice tackle by Ward, but a big first down for the Spy Ponders.
Nice first down by the Spy Ponders. And Elijah Woods, the hit that time was right above the knees. And looked like it was a little bit of a dangerous play, but Woods popped right back up.
Great to see. 1st and 10 for the Spy Ponders. They're down 21. Clock rolling in the third quarter, coming up on 10 minutes. Here's Woods over the left-hand side, brought down by a host of Sachems. And Rob, they've had a little bit of success running both sides tonight, have the Spy Ponders.
Yeah, they have, and that was looked like a little belly option that Bowler ran himself. So both quarterbacks are doing a little bit of belly option. I'm not sure that was an option though.
No,
I think that was a called play.
I
to Woods.
think it's a called play. I don't think they're letting a sophomore make that decision. I think Gender's making the decision for him. Doughton now is at the bottom of your screen on a 2nd and 8. Doughton coming over the middle. Makes a one-handed grab. What a play by the dynamic one. And move the sticks for the Spy Ponders, or close enough to it.
And good patience that time by Bowler, waiting until Doughton came free.
I'm going right for the good guys tonight. 1st and 10 for the Sachems. 1:43 left in the third. On rainy Pierce Field on a Friday night. Here's Costello over the right-hand side. He's met by a wall of black and maroon, led by number 19, Michael Mazzilli. And Mazzilli, a senior, getting in the action.
I tell you, woulda, shoulda, coulda, but you take away the big kickoff recovery, the 65-yard pass play, the 45-yard TD strike, and the punters are holding their own against the Sachems team.
2nd and 10. Here's an option. We haven't seen this before. A little option play by Fitzpatrick. And Professor, now Fitzpatrick shows it all. He's going to show an option.
That's a lot to show. It's bizarre to me that they would have that play in the playbook and bring it out at this particular time. And he pitched the ball out with his left hand, so a little ambidexterity from Mr. Fitzpatrick. Also, somewhat of a dangerous play with a wet ball.
Dangerous play with a wet ball and a 27-6 lead. You know, you're not up 47-6. A touchdown by the Spy Ponders, and they're right back in this ball game.
Exactly. You want to keep the clock moving. You want to keep the chains moving. You don't want a left-handed pitch to go errant.
No, or a backsided pitch. Here's a little fake. He's going deep to his man, and it is bobbled and
intercepted.
Looked like it was intercepted. Whether he was out of bounds, the dynamic one, Doughton. They're saying he was out of bounds. Great coverage by Doughton on the play.
Wow, let's see what happens here. It looks to me like the ball is first caught by the Sachems. Oh, and then it bounced out to Doughton, who was standing out of bounds. Heads up.
Rob, the difference between the Winchester option play and the Arlington.
Fitzpatrick being all of 6'1", can see the field real well to be able to make the right call on that option.
Yeah, he's listed at 6 feet. I would say he's 6'1", and 182. If he's 182, he's every pound of it. Every pound of 182. Here's a screen pass. They're going to call it incomplete, a little swing pass, to Elijah Woods. They've had some success with that swing pass tonight.
Yeah, they have, the little West Coast offense, and trying to get the ball to Elijah Woods in space. He's had broken some nice 10, 11, 12, 13-yard runs. It's a good strategy, just couldn't make it happen. And by the way, earlier I called Ben Jacey a junior captain. He's obviously a senior captain.
Ben Jacey, one of the leaders of the Spy Ponders on the field and off, in the weight room in the off season. Coach Gendron can't say enough about all his captains, both juniors and seniors.
We've got sophomore Gustavo Sahajan out there as well tonight.
Here's a little screen pass. I love these screens. I love these screens. I love these screens. It was there. A nice play by A.J. Abant, who sniffed it out, but the screen was there.
And we've got fourth down, so what do we have? 8:57 left in the ballgame. Ponders have to put 3 scores on the board. Every fourth down is 4-down territory right now.
And Doughton coming back on the field looks a little gingered, walking after taking that big safety hit. Claps his hands, he's ready to go. Varney in the huddle. Gotta say, this is the ball game, Professor. 4th and 7 for the Spy Ponders. If they're gonna do something, they better do it right now. Here's Varney. Steps up. The ball's on the ground. Varney picks it up. Doesn't matter. No matter who picks it up. It'll be Winchester ball at the 47, and Varney gave it all he had.
Yeah, he gave it all he had. The pocket just kind of slowly, slow-motion nightmare collapsed around Varney.
Tough situation for Varney to come into. Cold night, down 27-6. Just a tough situation for a player to come into.
Yeah, no question about it. And, he made that really nice play to down the left. Who was that? Was that to Maniti?
Yes, it was to Maniti.
Who caught the ball, going down to his knees. So, Varney has stepped in and done a job. But on that play, not a whole lot he could have done with it.
So if you're the Sachems here, you want to take time off the clock, maybe move the sticks, but a pass play would make everyone in attendance here groan, including myself, and I'm about to groan. There, my gosh.
Did he just...
He threw that ball to stop that clock, make sure everyone got a little wetter, and we got home a little later. It brings up a 2nd and 10.
Is there anything we could do about that?
I don't know. I mean, you're up 27-6. There's 8:07 left on the clock. The kid Fitzpatrick's run for about 180 yards tonight. I don't know why you'd be throwing the football there.
This is an indiscretion of youth.
Yes. Fitting after we heard Alice Cooper's 18 at halftime. There's the run.
We've heard some tunes. They're breaking out the 70s playlist at Pierce Field.
At the Pierce Field. All we need now is a little Thin Lizzy. The boys are back in town. And we'll be ready to go.
Thin Lizzy. We've had Alice
Cooper, Grateful Dead.
Jethro Tull. 2 from Jethro Tull. Right. Who did Uncle John's Band? Did we hear that?
Grateful Dead.
Oh, that was Grateful Dead, yeah.
Yeah. I can name them all.
Thin Lizzy would be the ultimate.
Would bring it on home. The boys are back in town. Or Jailbreak even. God, I know the whole catalog.
Jailbreak is a bubble screen in football terms. Tonight there's going to be a jailbreak.
There's going to be a jailbreak. 3rd and 10 for the Sachems. Keep it on the ground. Oh, got to be kidding me. Over the middle. Ball hits the ground.
Did you listen to Sweet ever? Sweet?
I have not listened to Sweet.
I'm not going to sing it for the viewers at home.
Listen to Mountain.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I'm a big Mountain fan.
I don't know whether to take. I've never heard of Mountain before.
Never heard of Mountain?
No.
Oh my gosh.
To me, Mountain is a caffeinated drink. It's a place to go enjoy the afternoon sunshine.
Yeah, we don't have sunshine here. My gosh, throwing the football. Throwing the football. Fair catch is called. The refs, the officials.
I think he blew it dead.
He blew it dead, and I'm not really sure why. I think everyone, I gotta be honest, I think everyone right now kind of wants to get home, and I'm a little bit confused as to the 3 passes there by the Sachems, up 27-6 with 7:09. Now, a couple ways to look at it. I'm joking here that I want to get home because I'm a little bit chilly and it's pouring rain out, and I'm looking at my poor 14-year-old daughter who's shivering in the rain watching her friends play football. But, I mean, in all seriousness, this game isn't over. Why would you be throwing the football 3 times in a row with 7 minutes left in the ball game? You're up 21. You're not 41. This game isn't over.
If you're the Sachems, you want to shorten this game, you want to run clock. It really wasn't a good decision.
No, not at all. Elijah Woods goes over the left-hand side. He's got a first down and more. And Elijah Woods shows that the Spy Ponders aren't going to quit. They're not going to give up. You know, I'll tell you something. This Wally Dembowski, I think he's done a nice job coaching this Winchester High football team. As you see, Woods taking it off the left-hand side for a first down. But I got to question those 3 pass calls.
Definitely question the 3 pass calls, and if the Potters make this game interesting, that'll be a game story.
It'll be a game story, and I hope they do. So 1st and 10 for the Spy Ponders. See if they go back to Woods. They do over that left-hand side. He's got some more room. He's gotten some nice work over the left-hand side.
Yeah, left-hand side over Michael Thielbar and John Bowen.
And Fieldbar and Bowen really are rocks of Gibraltar for this football team.
And on both sides of the ball.
Both sides of the ball. I don't know. Do they come off? I don't see them come off the field.
No, I think it's 40 minutes of solid football for those guys. Maybe they get off on special teams.
Yeah, a little bit of special teams. Coach was telling us last night, if you remember, he was saying how much the special teams is dominated by underclassmen. That's really probably the only time those guys get a rest. So it's 2nd and 10 for the Spy Ponders. The throw is it's caught. A nice catch there by Leonardo Meniti, and Meniti is just playing a heck of a ball game.
He's having a really good game. Varney gets outside, sees Meniti, throws him a strike, and Meniti comes down with it inbounds. Good job keeping his feet in bounds that time.
Great job. Great job. So clock rolls with 5:30 left in the ball game. Winchester up 27-6. Little pitch, little catch intended for 14 is not here.
Yeah, we don't have. We don't have
a little visit
14.
from Squad 9. Squad 9 making an appearance, rooting on their Winchester Sachems. It's all Arlington in this booth, daughter. So I don't know what you're thinking.
Squad 9, of course, is Bianca Zwick and her crew.
Squad 9 with a big showing here tonight, cheering on the bad guys. We're rooting for the good guys over the middle. And it is intended, a nice attempt by Michael Doherty. And I'll tell you, this Doherty has no fear, Professor.
Doherty over the middle, and that time Pat Costello broke it up. Both players made a heroic leap for the ball. Somebody could have gotten hurt on that play. Both ball fell harmlessly to the ground.
This Doherty could play for my team any day, though.
Yeah.
He's a tough kid.
He is a tough kid.
Yeah, that catch in the middle. You really didn't oversell what a big throw and catch that was in the first half. And we're going to talk about that a little bit after this play, because I really thought that was a season-defining play.
Yeah.
That may not show up tonight, may show up on another night. 3rd and 10 for the Spy Ponders. Here's Varney. And over the left-hand side goes John Nascimento. But, Rob, tell us a little bit about that play in the first half and what you thought of it, because I really thought very highly of it.
Well, the ball's on about the 44-yard line, 45-yard line, and they've got, maybe 40 seconds on the clock going into play. And Bowler went back to pass, and he stepped up deep in the pocket, and he hit what are we talking about? Doherty in a seam about 15 yards downfield. After this play, let's talk about why it's so difficult.
So here's Varney. He's got time this time. Over the middle. It's tipped. Incomplete. And let me finish. So the first thing that has to happen is Bowler has to see him, and he's got to look over the line of scrimmage directly in the middle where there are 6 or 7 big guys standing. He's got to see him. Second thing is he's got to judge the seam between the linebacker and the safety, and he's got to decide whether there's enough air in there for him to get the ball in. Then he's got to fire the ball into that seam, and then the receiver has to have the guts to catch the ball when the safety's arriving in his chest. So here is Fitzpatrick still in the game, up 27-6 with 4:15 left, handing off to Costello, and this is the discussion we've had. We almost have every time there's a blowout, when you pull your starters, when you don't. 27-6, clock rolling. We're coming up on 4 minutes left. What say you, Professor?
I'd say it's time to pull the starters for the Sachems.
For the Sachems.
And as you've pointed out, the Potters can't do it until the Sachems do it.
No, they can't. They certainly can't. So over the right-hand side goes Costello. He rips off, zigzag, zooms, and finally stumbles, bumbles, and mumbles down to the 19. Goes captain, senior, 6 foot, 170-pound Pat Costello.
Did we have some kind of a fumble on that play? It looked like... No, he just is... he was kind of shifting, change of pace.
Almost brought the ball around his back. A little Harlem Globetrotter action.
A little basketball action. And right on cue, we see the cheerleaders going while Zwick is playing Harlem Globetrotters tunes.
And what tune is that? Sweet Georgia Brown.
Sweet Georgia Brown.
Name that tune tonight. 1st and 10 for the Sachems. Clock rolls mercifully. Coming up on 3:20 left in the ball game. This time it's Peter Gallagher over the right-hand side. Gallagher, 5'8", 165 pounds, and I don't know if he's 165 pounds. Looks like Mr. Gallagher's been working out in the weight room.
Yeah, that's true.
Big gentleman.
He's been eating the elephant one bite at a time.
One big bite at a time for Mr. Gallagher. That's a big boy. He hasn't missed a weight room session or a meal. 2nd and 8. High snap. There's Gallagher again over the left-hand side. Brought down by a host of Spy Ponders.
Now they're running clock. Now they're. This is what the doctor ordered for everybody. Smart play by them. Like to see the second string in there doing this.
Well, you can see they've got Gallagher in there, but they don't take Fitzpatrick out, and
I guess the backup quarterback would be Doherty, who's not Doherty, Costello, excuse me, Pat Costello.
But again, you think again about health. That's the one thing that I think about in this situation. And if Fitzpatrick goes down, as you see a nice wrap up there by Michael Doherty, who's been all over the place tonight for the Spy Ponders. And Rob, you see Fitzpatrick out there, the clock rolling with 1:35 left in the game, and if Fitzpatrick goes down, that's the
season. That's the season.
Your season's over.
Yeah.
And you're about to go to 2-3 and be right there in the mix in the Liberty division. And you got a nice little season going here. So, a curious decision, but 27-6. You want to get them as many reps as possible. I guess I see both sides. So here's Doherty over the right-hand side on 4th down, and they'll turn the ball over on downs, and the Spy Ponders will take over with 1:03. And so tonight, Rob, we just had a phenomenal cast and crew tonight doing a great job. On camera, we had Zachary, Garrigus, and Patrick Gallagher. On audio, Colin, Gilbert. Director, Felix, Ansell. Engineer, Super Staz. Replay, Andrew Wilson. Graphics, Julian, Petrillo. Everyone doing a wonderful job. I'm Scott Zwick, alongside my partner, Rob Anthony. And Rob, with 1:03 left, the Spy Ponders here, maybe looking to get a little bit of momentum going forward to next week.
And next week they will take on Woburn Memorial at Woburn. And that always figures to be kind of a tough contest. Then they come home and play Lexington on the 14th. Meanwhile, Winchester takes on Lexington at home, and the week after that will travel to Belmont. That, based on the way Winchester and Belmont have looked the last 2 weeks, that will be some kind of tilt.
It sure will, as Elijah Woods takes a carry over the left-hand side for a bit of a loss. The positives tonight for the Spy Ponders, youth contributing.
No question about that. Youth contributed. Another fine game by Adam Bowler. We're seeing him mature before our very eyes. So the game seems to be slowing down a little bit for him, getting a little bit more comfortable out there. We see...
That's a live ball, by the way. It's knocked out of bounds. The ball was thrown backwards, intended for number 14, who we do not have a number for in our playbook. As you can see the replay, that's a backward pass. That's a live football. And Matt Cronin for the Sachems both players were wisely going after it. Clock stops with 22.1 seconds left.
And then super sophomore Mr. Doughton contributed big time. A little bit of a coming out party for him. Looked very athletic, making plays. Skill position player Elijah Woods had, I'd say, 4 or 5 10-yard plus gains. Might have pushed the 100-yard mark overall. So a lot of bright spots for the Ponders. Once again, the offensive line did its job, and Bowler had a lot of time. Bowler went out. Keenan Varney came in, and he's only a junior, stepped in and played well. I'd say what turned the game tonight is the big plays, and it's the big, I don't want to call it the big squib kick recovery, the 65-yard pass play, the 45-yard pass play. You take out 3 or 4 plays, this was a pretty even up ball game.
It sure was a pretty even up ball game. You have to think, if you're the Spy Ponders, as we get a big hand there for number 14. I really don't know who that is. I apologize to the folks at home. In our playbook, we don't know who number 14 is. Well, I guess since he's on our playbook, there could be a freshman or a sophomore. And it's great to see him coming off the field nice and healthy with 22 seconds left. Never want to see anyone get hurt, especially in a 27-6 ball game. It's very unfortunate, though, that this game turned in such a dramatic fashion against the Spy Ponders, because it looked like they were really building towards something in that first half.
The first half was real strong for the Spy Ponders. They were moving the ball well. They were, doing what they want to do, being the kind of team that they want to be. And then just in a matter of 2 minutes, wham, 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 it all turns.
And And the clock strikes 0, and the final score tonight, the Winchester Sachems 27, your Arlington Spy Ponders 6. And Rob, I would say the players of the game, I think it's pretty much a no-brainer for the Winchester Sachems. It's Captain Liam Fitzpatrick, and for the Arlington Spy Ponders, it's super sophomore Jaden Doughton. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that. I think Doughton could get some consideration. Michael Doherty for his two-way play could have gotten some consideration, and Elijah Woods could have gotten some consideration. I can't argue with a nod going to Mr. Doughton.
So why don't we go with a hat trick? Let's give it to all three.
Let's give it to all three.
Let's give it to all three. So why don't you, Rob, if you could just wrap up the scoring, and
we'll call it a night. Yeah, all right, let's do it. So the Sachems opened the scoring with a 4-yard run by Fitzpatrick. In the second quarter, after a scoreless first quarter, the Ponders tied it up with a 34-yard pass play from Bowler to super sophomore Doughton. Then it was all Sachems after that. Fitzpatrick to McDonough for 45 yards. Fitzpatrick to McDonough for 10 yards. And finally, Costello with a 2-yard run to make it 27-6.
So with that loss, the Spy Ponders fall to 0-4 on the season. Their next game will be next Friday night at Woburn, a tough contest. The next home game will be back the 14th of October against Lexington, another tough one. We'll have that for you on ACMI TV. For Winchester, they improved to 2-3 on the season. Their next game will be at home against Lexington, and they head to Belmont. So tough games for both teams going up. So for right now, we're going to take a little bit of break, and we'll be right back after these messages. And we're back. I'm here with Coach Gendron after the game. Coach, things went a little south there in the second quarter. What happened?
They did. You know, we were excited with the start. We were hoping that tonight was going to be the night where we turn a corner and put a more consistent effort together, and it looked like we had it for the beginning of those drives. Just a couple small things started to go wrong, and they started to snowball, and it looked like it led to another and another and another. And this Middlesex League football is too good to allow that to happen. To Winchester's credit, they capitalized. They saw a couple mistakes, capitalized. And before we know it, we're digging ourselves out again. We're trying to eliminate mental mistakes, and in many cases it's mental mistakes and a physical mistake, and here we are, and so I like that the guys fought back. I like that they answered in the second half and started to clean it up, but it's tough. It's tough to watch them work so hard all week, be so close, and then start to fall apart a little bit.
Youth was served, though, tonight, and You saw a lot of sophomores doing a lot of great things, especially the dynamic Doughton. Tell us a little bit about him.
He's a great player. Both sides of the ball. Sometimes we ask him to do so much. We treat him like a senior, and he plays like it. He's a dangerous kid that I think forces the defense to game plan around. When he's on our defense, he can make plays that some of our other guys can't play. So it's exciting to watch him. He does a lot of great things for us, and he still has room for improvement too. So it's great working with a kid like that.
So now moving forward, it's nothing but heads up, ready to go.
Oh yeah.
And so tell me about what the practice has been like and what you expect them to be like going forward.
The practices are intense. They're competitive. They're clean. We practice so hard, and I think that's why it's so hard to come out on game night and play poorly. Because the practices don't look like that. These guys are executing their plays. And so I'm excited to get back to work on the practice field and clean up those details and be ready to execute on Friday like these guys are capable of. So practices are still intense. We got film early in the morning like we would after a win or a loss. And the expectations are still high for these guys.
Well, it was a good effort tonight. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
All right, thanks a lot.
Great.
Thanks.
All right. And the final score here is 27-6. Arlington drops to 0-4 on the season. We'll see you in 2 weeks. For my partner, Rob Anthony, I'm Scott Zwick. Have a great night.